Have you noticed how lately your home has seemed more than just a place to sleep, almost transforming into an invisible force field? There's a strange, persistent feeling in the air, a silent yet absolute desire to simply stay where you are, to close the door, draw the curtains, silence your phone, and simply not be available to the outside world. And the most disturbing thing isn't the desire to stay home. After all, you're a Taurus, and comfort has always been your sacred territory. What really bothers you, what makes you question everything, is the feeling that you're not just choosing to stay. You feel like you're being kept there, as if a greater force, a divine whisper, were holding you by the shoulders and saying, "Don't leave, not yet, stay." You look out the digital window of social media and see everyone running around, achieving, traveling, shouting from the rooftops about how busy and productive they are. And you're on your couch, in your bed, in your kitchen, feeling a mix of deep peace and silent guilt. You wonder, am I falling behind? Am I stagnating? Why is God keeping me at home now while life seems to be happening outside? But what if everything you believe about this period of isolation is just an illusion? What if this pause isn't a delay, but rather the most severe and loving protection you've ever received? To understand the invisible mechanics of what's happening to you right now, we need to dismantle the superficial image the world has of Taurus. People think you enjoy staying home simply out of laziness, luxury, good food, or a soft duvet. They reduce your complex nature to a caricature of comfort, but comfort for you has never been just about softness. Comfort, for a Taurus, is a survival strategy. It's your headquarters. When you retreat to your environment, you're not running from war, you're replenishing your armor. Only this time, the retreat feels different, doesn't it? It's not that pleasant Sunday afternoon rest. It's a heavy, almost obligatory retreat. Invitations to go out come up, and your physical body literally feels heavy. The idea of having to socialize, of having to smile, of having to invest energy in empty conversations makes your stomach churn. You're not being antisocial out of malice. You're under a spiritual embargo. There is a profound architecture to how Taurus energy operates. You are the fixed earth sign. You are the root that holds the entire forest upright. And what happens to a tree when its roots are too exposed, when its branches have grown so far toward the noise of the world that its base begins to weaken? The tree falls at the slightest sign of wind. God is keeping you at home now because a very strong wind is about to blow, and your base was beginning to crack. You spent too much time supporting others. You spent too much time giving your vital energy, your solid presence, and your unwavering loyalty to people, projects, and situations that were drying up your soil. Think about the last few times you tried to force yourself out. Think about the recent times you ignored that call to stay home and went to that event, that meeting, that gathering. How did you feel? Probably exhausted before you even arrived. And when you were there, an immense feeling of emptiness, a total disconnection from the conversations around you. You were there physically, but your soul was screaming to return to the safety of your walls. This happens because your aura, your energy field, has entered a mode of extreme conservation. God has blocked your desire to go out to prevent you from continuing to leak energy into unproductive areas. But the human mind is noisy, and fear whispers terrible things in the silence of your room. The great conflict happening within you right now is the battle between the divine need for quiet and the terror of oblivion. The Taurus loves stability, but also has a visceral need to build, to see things materialize, to know that their effort is yielding concrete bricks in their wall of security. Staying home, in silence, without producing all the time, triggers your scarcity alarm. You start to think that if you're not acting, the source will dry up. If you're not on people's radar, you'll be replaced. If you're not running, life will run you over. And it is precisely in this despair, in this suffocating doubt about what to do with this feeling of immobility, that your faith is tested to the bone. What do you do when the earth asks you to stop, but your fear screams that you need to run? It was in seeking answers to these reflections that the digital book, The Divine Wisdom That Guides Your Zodiac Sign to a Purposeful Life, was born. More than just a simple read, it brings together teachings, interpretations, and exercises to help you understand patterns, develop a more conscious attitude, and cultivate a stronger mindset in the face of difficulties. Many people have already begun this journey of self-discovery and have found a new way to look at their challenges. Now it's your turn. Access to the digital book is available in the first pinned comment. Don't delay the opportunity to learn about a perspective that can transform how you face spiritual envy, strengthen your energy, and continue your journey with more clarity. Click now and discover how the divine wisdom that guides your zodiac sign to a purposeful life can become a guide to a more conscious, balanced, and resilient life. Don't continue to allow negative beliefs, doubts, or patterns to influence your path. Download now the digital book, The Divine Wisdom That Guides Your Zodiac Sign Towards a Purposeful Life, which helps your zodiac sign overcome spiritual envy and discover interpretations, reflections, and teachings inspired by this theme to understand challenges, recognize patterns, and strengthen your perspective. Attention. Access available for a limited time. Click now and begin your journey of self-discovery. You are in this state now. I know you are processing all of this, feeling that slight discomfort of someone who has just been read from the inside, who has realized that this seclusion is not a punishment, but still doesn't know how to navigate it. You need to act on this revelation now, not tomorrow. The link is in the first pinned comment. But be aware, this content may be taken down. Click now, download your copy. Tell me in the comments, what was the exact situation last week in which you forced yourself out of the house and returned feeling energetically destroyed? This energetic destruction you feel when you disobey the retreat is not an accident. It is the universe creating a physical boundary to protect what is germinating within you. The earth element, which governs your essence, has a secret that few people respect. The most valuable seeds germinate in absolute darkness. Beneath the earth, there are no applause. There are no lights, no spectators to praise the effort. There is only the weight of the soil, the moisture, the darkness, and the silence. You are in the seed phase, and what does the seed do when it is covered with earth? It doesn't try to escape. It expands its roots downwards before daring to climb towards the sun. God is keeping you at home because you need to put down deeper roots for the size of the blessing that is on its way. You've been asking for big things, haven't you? You've been praying for more stability, for true relationships, for a life structure that won't crumble at the first crisis. You've asked for an emotional and material empire. But an empire cannot be built on a shaky foundation. And the truth, that hard truth that Taurus struggles to admit, is that you were building your security on things that were rotten. You were placing your peace in fickle people, in routines that no longer served your soul, in attachments that were, in fact, chains. The great paradox of Taurus is that its superpower is loyalty, but that is also its greatest trap. You cling. You hold on to things with titanic strength because you are terrified of losing what you have gained. You hold on to friendships that ended years ago. You hold on to jobs or positions that are draining your life. You hold on to old versions of yourself because at least they were familiar. By keeping you at home, forcibly isolated, spirituality is cutting the umbilical cords you refuse to let go of. Without the noise of the world, you are forced to look at what's left. And often, looking at what's left is terrifying. You realize that your fear wasn't of being alone, but rather of discovering that many of the companions you kept made you feel even more lonely. You are being detoxified. This is the highest level of tension in your current process. Purification hurts because it rips away emotional crutches. When you don't have social events to distract you, when you don't have other people's dramas to resolve and prove your worth by being everyone's strong and supportive shoulder, who are you? The pain you feel in this isolation is the pain of the ego being crushed so that your true power can breathe. You are being stripped of that false need to be useful to others, to finally be useful to yourself. That's why you can't ignore the signs and need a map so you don't get lost in your own darkness. The digital book, the divine wisdom that guides your zodiac, signed to a purposeful life. More than just a simple read, it brings together teachings, interpretations and exercises to help you understand patterns, develop a more conscious posture, and cultivate a stronger mindset in the face of difficulties. Connect with the nature of Taurus, the search for real security, for inner abundance, for the need to go beyond the comfort it has built as armor. It's essential that you understand this mechanism before the window of opportunity closes. The link is in the first pinned comment. The last copies are running out. Click now and begin your journey towards the clarity and genius you deserve. Loneliness for your soul right now is a filtering mechanism. Pay close attention to who has access to your sanctuary at this time. When God keeps you at home, He also locks the door from the outside to many people. Have you noticed how some people have simply disappeared from your life since this phase began? Those people who only sought you out when they needed your strength, your solid ground, your money, your ear, or your patience. As soon as you gathered your energy, as soon as you stopped stretching yourself to reach everyone, their silence revealed their true intentions. This isolation is the great test of the quality of your connections, and Taurus needs quality, not quantity. You don't need a crowd clapping in your backyard. You need half a dozen people you can trust with the code to your soul's safe. This divine filter acts directly on your environment. Your home is an extension of your body. As a Taurus, the space where you step, where you sleep, where you eat, holds the records of your energy. And, for a long time, you allowed dense energies to cross your threshold, both physically and through the worries you brought from the outside world. Being confined at home now is an invitation for you to cleanse your territory. It's time to purify the corners of your life, from organizing that drawer you avoid to reorganizing the drawers of your mind. The universe stopped you because the internal mess was creating short circuits in your manifestations. But the great danger, and the reason why so many Taurians suffer immensely during this phase, is the confusion between pause and punishment. Taurus is ruled by Venus. You seek beauty, pleasure, abundance, constant expansion through harvest. When the earth cools and nothing seems to grow, the Taurian mind silently collapses. You judge yourself. The inner critic begins to beat you mercilessly. You're being lazy. You've lost your shine. Your life has stalled while so-and-so's is taking off. This voice tries to convince you that your physical immobility is a reflection of your failure. But the harvest obeys laws that human despair doesn't understand. You can't plant and harvest on the same day. You can't bloom in the same season you need to prune. Spiritual winter demands retreat. And here we arrive at the core of the great paradox that consumes you. The tension reaches its limit when your need to act enters into open war with your intuition, which begs for rest. You feel the invisible pressure of having to make it happen. This is the trap of the modern world, trying to hack your spiritual biology. The world screams that you must be visible all the time to exist. But you are made of a matter too ancient, too dense, and too noble to play this volatile game. Your strength does not reside in speed. It resides in your ability to sustain the weight of time without disintegrating. Being confined at home is your sustaining training. God is forcing you to find abundance in absence. He is provoking you to see if you can feel rich, prosperous, and secure, even when the doors of the world seem momentarily closed. How will you lead the empire tomorrow if you crumble in the waiting room today? The digital book, the divine wisdom that guides your zodiac sign to a purposeful life, is more than just a simple read. It brings together teachings, interpretations, and exercises to help you understand patterns, develop a more conscious attitude, and cultivate a stronger mindset in the face of difficulties. Connect with the nature of Taurus, the search for true security, inner abundance, and the need to go beyond the comfort it has built as armor. Dive into these teachings right now, before despair makes you take a rash action that compromises your very foundation. The link is in the first pinned comment. Click now and begin your journey towards the clarity and genius you deserve. There's a moment in the midst of this comfortable darkness when a silent epiphany occurs. It's when the anxiety of going back outside simply disappears. You stop comparing yourself. You stop looking at the clock. You look at the walls of your house and no longer see the bars of a prison, but the ramparts of a fortress. It is in this state of absolute surrender that the miracle works in the life of Taurus. When you finally accept the pause, the energy you spent trying to resist the process returns to your center. Suddenly, you begin to have clarity. Brilliant ideas begin to emerge while you wash dishes or tend to a plant. Solutions to problems that previously seemed impossible fall gently into your lap. You begin to understand that you didn't need to chase after anything. You just needed to stop moving so that the right things could find you. This is the secret of Taurus magnetism. Venus's gravitational force doesn't hunt, it attracts, and you can't be a powerful magnet if you're vibrating in the panic of lack. God put you at home to restore your magnetic strength, by clearing away excesses, by distancing yourself from people who drained you, by forcing your body and mind to rest. The universe recalibrates your frequency. You are, silently and invisibly, becoming dangerously strong. And it's fascinating to think that while others think you've disappeared, perhaps even defeated by life, you are, in fact, becoming untouchable. The moment will soon come when the atmosphere will change. The door will open gently, not with a bang of obligation, but with a natural invitation. When it's time to leave, you'll know. It won't be an anxious departure, not out of fear of being left out. It will be an organic movement, like the sun rising because it can no longer contain itself behind the mountain. And when you step outside again, the world will notice the difference. They will look at you and no longer see that exhausted, overwhelmed person trying to carry the world on their shoulders. They will see a rock, a temple, someone who has descended into their own depths, who has endured the solitude of their own comfort, and who now knows exactly what is worth their time and what is not. Your retreat was not a mistake. It was an act of love from the universe. It was divine preparation for the solid ground you are destined to become. Honor your space, honor your silence. The seed has already broken through the shell. The root has already found the groundwater. What happens from now on is the invisible growth that very soon can no longer be hidden. Take a deep breath, look at the walls of your sanctuary, and give thanks. The bull is only resting before taking possession of what is rightfully his. And when that day comes, nothing can move you from where you decide to plant your feet. Embrace this stillness, for it is in it that the strength resides that will change the script of everything that is yet to come. The mystery has revealed its purpose. The house is only the beginning of your new reign. Be at peace. In this profound peace, you discover a new and refined sensitivity. The aroma of fresh coffee filling the kitchen in the morning, the texture of soft fabric against your skin, the golden light of the late afternoon filtering through the crack in the window, all of this now takes on a much deeper and more transformative meaning. They are no longer just small, fleeting comforts or escapes from reality. They are the cornerstones of your newfound power. Each small daily luxury, each moment of simple and unpretentious pleasure that you allow yourself to experience within your refuge is a physical and undeniable reminder that you are deserving of abundance in all its forms. The universe is, drop by drop, teaching you to receive. It is teaching you to accept gifts without that old conditioned guilt that absolutely everything needs to be earned through suffering, wear and tear, and sweat. The exhausting and blind effort has finally given way to a confident and masterful surrender. And as this unwavering confidence solidifies in your bones and takes root in your soul, you realize, almost with a smile playing at the corner of your mouth, that your standards have irreversibly changed. What you once accepted as sufficient, what you once tolerated out of fear of scarcity, now sounds absurdly shallow. Your own energy has become your most sacred and valuable asset, and you have learned, through sheer force and silence, to be wonderfully ruthless about where and with whom you choose to invest it. The people who cross your path in the future will find someone who doesn't compromise their own sanity and doesn't cheapen their own affection. The opportunities and proposals that dare to knock on your door will have to be, at the very least, worthy of all the majestic stability you have built in this isolation. The bull no longer bows to just any pasture. The infinite patience that has always defined you is no longer synonymous with passivity in the face of what diminishes you. Now she is the purest expression of power, the wisdom to know how to wait with absolute and terrifying tranquility for that which is grand enough to deserve her true presence. The metamorphosis of repose is complete. Her empire of calm is already standing.